Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be answering 50-ish questions that were asked by some of you guys, and most of them are ones that I just randomly found on the internet. But this is kind of a basic celebration of 200 subs. We hit 200 subs. I honestly never thought I would. I know it's not a lot to most of you guys, but to me, to have 200 people hit that little subscribe button means so much to me. I'm so thankful for all of your guys' support and kind words. I haven't been on YouTube that long, and I'm quite proud of how far I've come and what has happened with the channel so far, and I'm looking forward to bigger and better things. So without further ado, what are the questions? What is your full name? Georgia May Sigston. Are you named after anyone? I am actually named after a character from a TV show that my dad used to love called Brookside, and there was a character on it called Georgia who had an incestuous relationship with her brother. So thanks, Dad. Where do you record? Okay, that was a bit of a weird question that was asked by you guys. It's not weird, it's just random, like why would anybody care? But this is the spare room in my house. It is not my bedroom. My bedroom is a lot more stylish and cool than this, and when I say stylish I mean geeky. But this is like the prettiest, most pinkest room in the house, and it doesn't really go with like my whole gaming thing. I'd like to have like a shelf behind me or something with a bunch of stuff on, but my mother will not allow me to do that. So maybe I'll be changing setup sometime in the future. I might move back into my own room, but for now I have like a little office in the spare room. What does your name mean? Okay, I actually don't know this, so I'm gonna Google it. Okay, English meaning: the name Georgia is an English baby name. In English, the meaning of the name Georgia is a feminine form of the Greek George, meaning tiller of the soil or farmer. Again, thanks, Dad. I am a farmer, apparently. Where were you born? I am born and raised in Birmingham, which is totally the best place on the planet. No, I'm dying to get out of here. Somebody come take me in with them, please. But yeah, that's where I currently live, and it's where I was born. What is your favourite game ever? Right, okay, so this is a really generic answer that you probably hear from 80% of people that you ask. But it is The Last of Us. It is the main reason I think I even got a PlayStation in the first place. I think I bought it about... When did the PlayStation come out? Was it 2013? I don't know. I got it for Christmas one year. And the two games that I got first were Beyond Two Souls and The Last of Us. I almost didn't get The Last of Us because, as you guys know, I'm not very good at shooter games or anything, even though they're the games I play the most on the channel. I think I'm trying to get myself used to them. But I bought it because I heard the story was meant to be amazing and the characters were meant to be amazing. And so even though I was terrified of it, I was watching trailers, doing research of the first games that I should buy with what little money I had left at the time. And I decided to get The Last of Us, and oh my god, I'm so glad that I did. Because I know it's a really generic answer, but it is so story rich. The characters are just like, they just have a nice rich backstory. You really feel for them. There's emotion there. There's just the graphics, like even the smallest little details are so amazing and so just full of, oh my god, I don't know, nostalgia. I love The Last of Us. I've completed it about 4 times. But yeah, so that is a really generic answer of what my favourite game is and why. I gave you a little bonus with the why. Which of your parents are you more like? Right, this is one of the things I was asked on Twitter, which is a bit random. Again, not weird, but random. I look like my mom, kind of. Like, me and my mom personally don't really see it. Like, we have the same smile, but really our face shapes and everything aren't really the same. I suppose the eyes and the mouth are a tiny bit similar, but my personality is probably definitely my dad's. I think all I took from my mom was the looks and the temper, red-headed temper, but everything else pretty much is my dad. Like my procrastination, my like general laziness. Just, I don't know, everything that isn't my looks basically like came from my dad. My gender, my looks, and my temper, and my mom's. Everything else is my dad's. I don't look anything like my dad at all. I went out with a friend once, and people thought that my friend was my dad's daughter and I was just hanging out with them, because I look absolutely nothing like him at all. He's got brown eyes and black hair, so I didn't think I really got anything looks wise from my dad. Maybe the nose a little bit. What is the first movie you remember seeing? Well, I can't remember what the first film I saw was, but I think my favourite film as a child that I have the most fond memories of is Fantasia 2000. I think I used to watch that at least twice a week. I can remember sitting on the floor in the living room like this, like sitting and watching it, and I was so excited by it and so drawn in by it. And I find that odd now that I watched it about a week ago and I still have the same love for it. I just find it weird that I was able to appreciate that as a child, as artistic and stuff as Fantasia 2000. I hope you guys know what I'm on about. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a cat called Sophie, which is a black cat, and I have a black Sproodle called Alfie, who is the newest addition. I've had Sophie for 5 years and Alfie for about 1 year. What is the name of your first pet? Well, I don't think I had any pets before then, but my earliest memory of pets, which I'm sure my first pets, I had 3 fish. In fact, one of them was mine. They were technically mine, like I fed them and everything, but one was my mum's, one was my dad's, and one was mine. And mine was called Ariel, and I don't know what species she was. Species, is that the right word? She had a red face and a silver body. And I called her Ariel, of course, after Ariel the Little Mermaid, because I thought, I don't know, I guess the red face reminded me of Ariel's red hair. I also just was really fond on the name Ariel. I had Max, who was black with green eyes, and he was my dad's, and he freaked me out a little bit, like his eyes, not green, yellow eyes, and they freaked me out. And oh my god, he was such a creepy fish, but he's so pretty at the same time. And then Daisy was my mum. She was just a plain orange goldfish. And my mum actually told me one day that they'd all gone to the vets, and I was too young to understand that they were dead, and she was actually keeping them under the sink in their fishbowl dead until I was at the house and she could flush them away or get rid of them, like do whatever she did. And she lied to me and said they were at the vets, and I actually believed her for like a full 2 years. This is how young I was. And I remember once driving past the vets and I'd pretty much forgotten about the fish, like I didn't really ask about them again. And then one day we were going past the vets and I said to her, when are Max, Ariel and Daisy coming home? And she was like, yeah, soon. I spoke to the vets like just the other day and they said they're doing much better, and this was like 2 years later. And she was like, they're never coming, they probably are, no, they're never coming home. No, that's it, yeah, they're dead. And I was like, oh, right. Okay, great way of revealing my first pet's death to me, mother. Favourite game this year? Well, you guys, anybody who's been watching this channel knows that I haven't really finished any games. This year has been kind of a mess for me with uni, and then not wanting to be at uni, not enjoying what I'm doing. Playing games was like my form of escape in the meantime, but then I haven't had as much time to devote to it as I'd like to. And I've kind of started a lot of games and then not actually finished them. So I don't know what my game of the year is, because whatever games I've played I haven't actually finished. But I'd say probably what would have been my favourite if I'd finished it is probably Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that's also a cliche one. Also, obviously the other cliches, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Hey, they're getting all the awards for a reason. But they're all so gorgeous. And then obviously there's Cuphead. Quite a lot of games that came out this year. I was really enjoying South Park until that kind of fell off the channel as well, because I got busy with other things. But I might restart that series again eventually, maybe from the beginning, because I think I only got like 2 hours in. So I'd probably start that again from the beginning. But yeah, there's quite a lot of favourite games with 2017. I find it hard to do like one favourite game of a whole year, especially since I'm me and I haven't finished them. What is your favourite colour purple. What is your favourite quote? Right, I have a little mirror in my room. It's like a little whiteboard mirror. And I wrote my favourite quote on it. I was supposed to write a different thing on it every day, but I ended up writing one of my favourite quotes that I found, which is from a book called Milk and Honey. Probably quite a lot of you have heard of it. The full quote is, "What's the greatest lesson a woman should learn? That since day one she's already had everything she needs within herself. It is the world that convinced her that she did not." And that is one of my favourites, even though I suppose I don't really live by it, because I always think that I'm not good enough and I'm never going to be good enough for people and good enough to do things and good enough to do anything in the world, basically. But I put it there as kind of like motivation. Every day I'll wake up and directly across from me when I get out of bed is that quote, and I can see it every day and think, I'm going to make today a good day. What is your most commonly used swear word? Well, also probably according to the channel, like how many times I've said it on the channel, the word I use the most is the F word. What is your star sign? I'm a Sagittarius. Do you have a tattoo? No, I've always wanted one, but I just feel like it's something that I'll probably never get. I used to, when I was in school, I wanted the cliche infinity symbol on my wrist and everything. Thank God I didn't grow up to get that. And then when Pretty Little Liars ended, I wanted to get a little A on my finger like everybody did. They all got all the cast members got their first initial of their character's name on their finger, and I wanted to get A for A as in the villain. And then at a time, I'll never actually get this, but at a time I wanted A and M, which can mean like, you know, AM and PM, but it also secretly to me stands for Aria and Mona, who are my favourite characters in Pretty Little Liars. But there's been quite a few tattoo ideas I wanted. I wanted a blue French horn from How I Met Your Mother. They're mostly from TV shows and movies. I wanted Peter Pan's hat on my wrist, because that is it's not my favourite Disney movie, but it's my favourite movie. And I guess Peter Pan just kind of, you know, it links in with me. I'm probably somebody who will never grow up, so the Peter Pan hat kind of links in with that, and that's where I get it, by the way, on my wrist, which is why I'm pointing to that. How many pillows do you sleep with? This is another weird one that I found on the internet. It used to be 2. I've always slept with 2 pillows under my head, and I'd get really uncomfortable when I'd go to stay at someone's house and they'd only have 1. I would get majorly uncomfortable and I just couldn't sleep and stuff. But recently, in about the past 3 weeks, I've suddenly hated sleeping with 2 and I prefer to have just the 1. I don't know where that came from. I've pretty much had 2 pillows my entire life. But then also because I have restless legs quite often, that's always fun. It's a fun thing to have. I usually sleep with this big long brown pillow that I've got in between my legs to kind of stop the restless legs from happening. But so I'm not the most fun person to sleep in a bed with, because I will have all of this stuff with me, like the big long brown pillow and stuff, which probably isn't comfortable for whoever is lying beside me, but I find it really hard to sleep unless I have a pillow like between my legs. That's so weird. What do you do when you get hiccups? I thought I'd found a cure for hiccups like last year. Everybody that I told to do it when they had hiccups, it worked for them, but then obviously it doesn't work for everybody, and after a while it kind of stopped working for me because I think my body got used to it. What I used to do was put something cold on my stomach, like you know, just something out the fridge, like a cold can of Coke or something, and obviously the shock of the cold kind of stopped the hiccups for me, but it kind of stopped after a while. It doesn't work anymore. Last 3 YouTube videos. Okay, the last 3 videos in my history for game theorists, theories about Doki Doki Literature Club. I haven't played the game myself, but I've watched people play it. I know what it's about, I know what happens, I know it's all psychological horror, and I probably will play it for myself at some point, because I haven't watched people play the whole thing, just like the major bits, which is really stupid of me because, you know, spoilers. For some reason I've been watching a lot of Doki Doki videos this morning while I was doing my makeup and things, but there's that. Alice Roch's latest video of her Breath of the Wild playthrough, and Susie Lou's We Need Spyro Remade video, which I agree with. We do need Spyro remade. That was one of my favourite games growing up. You're going to have a party and anyone you invite is guaranteed to come. Here are the first 5 on your guest list. Okay, can I have like a celebrity party and a YouTube party? The 5 people that I'd invite to the YouTube party are Gloom, like Cassie from Gloom Games, Alice Rocher, probably the Rad Brad, Strange Rebel Gaming, and Katie Plays Stuff, Amelia Clark, Ryan Reynolds, Georgia Toffolo, I loved her and I'm a Celebrity, and Mila Kunis. What languages would you like to learn? Obviously I'm completely fluent in English. It's like pretty much the only language I know. I learnt French for 2 years in primary school and then I wanted to carry it on in secondary school, but when I got to secondary school they turned around and they said French is full, so we're going to have you do Spanish, because it was compulsory that we have, compulsory is the right word, isn't it? That means you have to, compulsory to do a language for your first couple of years of high school, senior school, so they made me do Spanish. So I had a French Spanish teacher for a couple of years, which was kind of weird having a French Spanish teacher, but I also was trying to learn Japanese for a good while, but I just haven't had the time recently to try and carry on with that. But yeah, I would like to learn Japanese and get more into Spanish, because I kind of ended up liking that more than French. Childhood dream job. This is ridiculous, but my favourite childhood dream job was actually to be a cornetto maker. Like, there used to be these machines in the shops where I lived when I was little, where you put an ice cream cone like under the machine, you know, and you just pump, you know, like a whippy cone machine, like what they do with the 99 flakes and stuff. That with but with cornettos. And I said when I'm older I want to be like one of the people behind the bar serving the cornettos, or I wanted to be the people that actually like manufacture it and stuff, and it was ridiculous. That was my really ambitious, amazing childhood dream job. What playlist do you get ready to? Well, Paloma Faced Crybaby is my favourite song at the moment. You Make My Dreams Come True, which is my favourite go-to happy song. Wolves, Selena Gomez.